Absolutely. Welcome all. Big group today. And I'm going to hint, number 99. Pay attention at the end. So Greg Osborne with Mapping Your Marketing. And we just know there's just so much dang stuff to do online. Like, how would you like to have a proven thing to leverage the most powerful forces online today? Well, that's what we do. We've taught on reputation. We've taught on video. And then for the next little while here, we're going to teach on AI. I mean, you can't even swing a cat and see something about AI, right? So I've been using it for a year and a half for content. We have AI spokesmodels as part of the service I provide. And so we're going to start with this ChatGPT, which is the newest sweetheart, but there's been several before that. And we'll have an introduction and a demo talking about it.
Careful with that one. If you've got ChatGPT right now, you have access to it, but anybody that would try to get on it today, it's full. So they've waitlisted you as far as I know.
I recorded a session to show.
Gotcha.
Because true, it's been that way for a long time, and they're going to start charging. So
nice. Okay, excellent.
There she is.
Hi, Greg.
It has been a little while.
Oh, I've been coming to these though. They've been fantastic. These are like ones,
aren't they? Thank you so much for saying that.
well, and thank you for telling me about it because I'm like, these are ones I hate to miss. I hate to miss these.
Love that. I'm going to write that down. So I'm the guy who makes all those we call them a rep ad, a review ad, like, you know, when we post about the thing.
Yep.
I hate to miss a meeting. So you might be immortalized in graphics in one of our ads. You guys you've obviously heard of this crazy thing, right? It's everywhere, and I think it's got even such a broader footprint now than AI ever did, right? So AI's been around for a long dang time, you know, coming from, like, you know, an IT guy that I am for years, and it's been getting better and better and better. We've been using it in my business for crafting content for about a year and a half right now. In the last probably 6 months, we've been using AI spokesmodels to create content for us, and then now the world has been seeing this ChatGPT thing, and it is really taken off. It's the newest sweetheart, and really, if you look at the whole line of how things are going, we're in the baby steps of where this is going to go. And I don't know if you guys have been on it. Have you tried it? Anybody? Show of hands.
Yes.
Yeah. Lydia. Okay. And your experience been good? No, Matthew, you even
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've used it quite a few times. And then let's see if I have it on here. No. Okay. I've created my my profile picture using Chat GPT as well too, and I created an avatar, which I'm just kind of playing around with right now as well.
Well, isn't that special? I have not dug into the picture side. Being mostly using it as a tool for a content creator, right? So we'll show you actually some of that, but the bigger picture is it's not going to be free for long. And now with all of this publicity, you can't even get on there. So like Mr. Mark said at the beginning, I pre-recorded a session and I checked earlier, and I'm going to check right now again. And I'll start with that thing. It's at capacity right now, so be notified. And I think it's personally a big play because they're going to start charging. So same old story, right? Give it away for free, get people to want it, and then they're going to start charging like $42 is the pilot program. And you'll see some of these warnings. There's warnings out there from the CEO of this company. OpenAI is the company, but don't rely on it. The CEO says don't rely on it. So you can imagine artificial intelligence only pulls from, like, say, what its knowledge base is, right? And this knowledge base is basically only for the last, they talk about like 2021 and before. This new version, which is going to be ChatGPT 4, is going to have 1,000x knowledge to pull from. So, anybody got any initial questions, or we'll just jump in and show you? Okay, we're jumping in and showing you here. And so, let me find this. I want to share the sound too. So, here's what happens when you go there these days. At capacity. So, you don't even get to hear till you log in. You have to authenticate. You have to create your free account, right? But then once you say, oh, good, it's logging me in, you don't get to do anything. And so it's basically, showing you this thing. And this is actually an example of how it works. This top bold line is what we would call the prompt or the input, right? Like what you give it, like what you tell it to do for you, right? So in this case, explain the status of ChatGPT as a sea otter. Okay, silly. Sorry, it's very popular. Try again. So that's dark. Let me see if I'm not gonna redo it. But usually this cycles. I've been sitting on it hoping it would come in. But we'll show you what happens when it works. So this is a recorded video. It's like once you get in. So here we go.
GPT. It is all the rage of this new AI, but AI is not new. 6 months ago, Jasper AI was all the rage, and before that, another one and another one. And it's hard to get on, so we're doing this recording that we could use in a live training, or I teach at Tech Corner. I'll probably put it out on YouTube. Right here, they're getting feedback, right? And they also tell you right here, incorrect, misleading information, not intended to give advice.
So they're very clear in upfront that it can be incorrect. Don't give advice.
The CEO says it's unreliable. And here we are. They collect data, right? So don't share anything sensitive. Very important stuff. And it's optimized, and so they're going to help you rate. They want your help rating it. So they tell everybody that on the way in. There's also some questions of who actually owns the content that's generated that we can talk about. So the point is that you have to prompt it. And here's the ones that I've been doing. And if you want to do a new chat, you would do it down here. And we do a lot of different things. So the way that I do mine, and the way I suggest that you guys could or should do yours, is to have your prompts written out, and then with a space below to write its reply. So we'll start with a simple one. Write responses to a sales objection for I need to talk to my partner. So here we go. We'll put it in and we'll send it off.
So is that all really clear? You guys hear the sound? Everything good? Okay.
Just like that, here is the replies. Coming back out, they're the numerical stack. We asked it for responses, plural, and that's what it's doing. It's giving us different responses that we can read these and use these, whichever ones we want. You might notice how it's stacking it up in my saved things. So what I'm going to do is take my answers, and I'm actually going to paste them. over in
So that's what I do. Like if you can't get in here again, so say you'd ask a bunch of questions and you wanted to go get your answers, but you can't get in. So I have a side Word doc because you can't start anything until you have a bunch of stuff to ask it. So I tee up all my questions in a Word doc. I ask it and then I copy and paste them. Now they'll be in here when you can get back in here and you can get back to them. But I say best practice is have them stored separately.
I need to talk to my partner and my notes, right? So what's another good one? Let's talk about
Taken from my choices, right? We do a whole bunch of different kinds here in this session.
how about one about money, right? It's too expensive. And again, I'm not typing it on the screen. We're going to paste it in here from our notepad and wait for some results. And here goes, doing it. What makes it seem too high? I think our product saves you money. We have financing. What are your priorities? And this is pretty good stuff. I don't think it's in the realm of unreliable, getting the facts and opinions from the world. This stuff is pretty solid. So I'm gonna do.
What do you guys think? It's pretty great tool, huh? You see how you can use it. And so when you get facts and figures, I think is where you get into this odd area of it being unreliable. But for these really straightforward things, it's pushing on, 5 different kind of points of view for objection handling.
The same thing. I'm going to paste it back into my notes. Now you could do other things. This is kind of a really long one. And actually relative to Tech Corner. So write a short summary for Business Tech Corner. And then I'm giving it data for it to work on, right? So this is basically our description of the meeting. So we're going to send it off and see what it has to say. And it makes a very quick summary. What I find is that sometimes
you give it a one-liner and it gives you, 20 lines back. This time I gave it who knows how long, 50 lines, and it made a succinct paragraph. So it kind of works different ways. I don't know that I did this in this demo, but I want to point it out now. If you want to essentially spin it again, right, you can do this regenerate response down here. So it'll take essentially your last input field and then create craft a different reply or solution or answer, right? A different response. So you guys good? We'll keep going?
So,
okay.
Quick question, Greg.
Yeah.
I have a copy. It's called Closer's Copy. It's an AI for generating content, and I've seen this, and I've been trying to understand: is this only for conversational dialogue that would be generated?
You could do stuff like Matthew makes images, but I use it. My demo is pretty business centric, right? It's in Business Tech Corner, but I've known other people like I could use it like, hey, tell me a story about a grandpa and his 3 grandkids who brought their favorite toys on a fishing trip. And it would make up a story, right?
Okay, so then the difference between like Jasper or closer's copy, like what is that? I don't fully understand this because I thought it is exactly what it says. It's like chat, so it's conversational.
I think it mostly is chat, and maybe if we get time at the end, I'm probably going to teach on this for the next couple of weeks on like doing graphics and things like that. That's probably going to be my next topic. But I think for sure the design what was for this part, right? Was for chat.
So like I have Keep Infusionsoft, and they introduced an AI that I can go in and create an entire funnel and landing page copy. But they have some set standard questions that you fill in that are used obviously to build out that copy. So that one itself is not conversational. That is more of a lead gen. In the emails, it is more personalized, but it also generates the emails too.
That is a case. I've seen this use it to for programming, like simple programming, like how do I get, the sum of a whole column, and an average and a median and a mean. And then for Excel or Sheets, and you type that in and it gives you a piece of code, right? Or you can say, write me a piece of JavaScript code that, prompts, and it'll give you code. Like it is crazy the things that people are doing with it.
Right.
But yeah, mostly words. But we'll talk about some of the pictures and the stories. And
we copy this one back, right?
I'm doing lots of stuff.
We will.
Centric, but we're going to explore a bunch of those other possibilities. And they are integrating these into a bunch of tools.
We'll need to, do some spacing. So I'll show you here, right? So here's my answer. And then if I'm going to use it or if I'm going to read it later, it's a neat way to space it out. And then it's super fun to give it specific things about you. Like I have done some on making video. I've done some on being a chief marketing officer. I have done this one. This is actually super fun. So, and it's a real play, and it shows you some of the nuances of chat AI, right? So we're going to do a very kind of a standard term, explain chief marketing officer role. And here's the funny part, like a stoned surfer bro. And we'll send it off. And there it's going, but it's putting it in surfer talk, right? Dude, image and vibe, coolest bro, artist success. So very, very fun and fascinating way to do it.
And I've seen people do stuff like explain it like to a 5-year-old or something, right? It's like sometimes like we're always like trying to, like, for me in my field it's jargony, and it can be technical. So I've been using this to help wordsmith different ways to communicate.
So there is some great things. So we're about 7 minutes in. I'm gonna probably keep this maybe about 10.
Speaking of 7 minutes, my counter isn't showing. How long do we have left in the room?
3.
3. Okay, well I'll save the rest of that demo. Maybe we can do like some Q&A if anybody has them, or.
Greg, have you ever used it for any kind of presentations? I've heard that people are starting to use ChatGPT specifically for presentations that they have to make, or giving teaching segments or anything like that.
I haven't. I've got a stack of stuff that I've done. Like you can see, like over on this side, I've got a few here. But here's the challenge. This is actually a good use case of a best practice. So I might have started with like, say this, like relying on ChatGPT. And in that session, I might have just stacked them here. You know how you just add one under another. And even in this demo session, I have, Business Tech Corner and Stone Surfer Bro and Sales Objection. Well, that's kind of problematic to go back to find them, right? Like, oh, where did I do all those? So I think in some of these, I have done other content, like write me, an intro for a speech talking about these things, right? And I think that's real solid use case, for doing this. And we neglect to not talk about in the overview who owns it. So there's questions of like, does ChatGPT own what it creates, or do you? And that one's still kind of being decided, right? And there's like, how are you going to do? Like, don't give it any of your personal stuff, right? So most of the stuff that I do is very different. So we don't want it to, like, if you gain facts from the world, it does things weird. Another example, it was like, well, write my bio. Somebody like copied in like their LinkedIn like job history, and it did math wrong, like some of the numbers didn't match up. And you can do other things where it won't give you an answer, like I did making a video. I said create a video. Matter of fact, that's the one I'm on right here. He was like, well, I can't create a video out of reviews, but if you could, here's like what you would do, right? So it'll tell you. One of the greatest ones that I saw was a guy was like stated some fact, and then the thing came back, and then the guy said, well, my wife says it's my wife says it's down, and ChatGPT says, no, it's up. And then the guy says, well, my wife's never wrong. And it goes, well, I guess that it's up or down, right? Like, I only can make data on the last, since 2021. So there's lots of fun stuff to do in here. So like I said, I'm going to be doing more and pushing some boundaries to come in and share. But go to the site, register, get in when you can. So I find that if I'm sitting down for say a session on my computer, morning or afternoon, I will go in and log in and then check and see if it comes live, right? Because
just on that, because while we were doing this, I created an account during the time, but I went through like one of the private browsing apps. So I used DuckDuckGo or whatever it was.
right.
So I don't know if that'll have any difference for you. But anyways.
Well, I don't know that the browser does, because it's basically server capacity. As far as I know, they have a different on-ramp.
I got in and I managed to create an account during while you were talking. So
I agree. I didn't probably refresh or something, so
maybe.
it's really hit and miss. And that's kind of my point. Like, get in, right? And then it have this screen, right? And there's also this get notified. I've never really gotten it. So
Yeah,
it's not letting me in, but good, you got in, right? And that's why it's hit and miss.
Right.
I tried using the get notified when we're back function, and I have yet to be notified.
I think that's useless.
Yeah.
I think we got 10 seconds left, so it's pretty great, and it's all up to you, and it's all AI is kind of up to what you put in.
Everybody's rooms go. Greg, how'd your room go?
Well, we ran out of time, but we had a lot of great stuff. People that maybe hadn't seen it got in. I'm really glad, like you said, I had recorded a session because I couldn't get in. But then in the point of the room, when I couldn't get in, we had a room member log in and create an account. So so we covered some of the best practices. One of them is don't put any personal information in there, because basically they're keeping all of it and they're building their list. It's a kind of, you're putting your stuff in their knowledge base. There's bigger questions like who actually owns it.
Sure.
We'll cover in upcoming sessions.
Okay, cool.